Hey there! In this video, we are going to understand rotation and reflection matrices, two fundamental linear transformations that appear everywhere in computer graphics, robotics, and physics simulations. So let's start with rotations. A rotation is a transformation that turns space around the origin, and it has some beautiful properties. It preserves distances, so if 2 points are a certain distance apart before rotation, they remain the same distance apart afterward. It also preserves angles between vectors, and importantly, the origin always stays fixed at the same location. When we visualize a rotation, imagine taking a vector in two-dimensional space and spinning it counterclockwise by some angle, and the entire coordinate system rotates along with it. To see how rotations work as matrices, let's watch what happens to our basis vectors, I and j. If we rotate the plane by 45 degrees counterclockwise, I, we started at 1 and 0, moves to a new position at cosine of 45 degrees and sine of 45 degrees, which is square root of 2 over 2 and square root of 2 over 2. Similarly, j, we started at 0 and 1, moves to a negative sine of 45 degrees and cosine of 45 degrees. The general formula for a rotation by any angle theta is a matrix with cosine theta in the top left, negative sine theta in the top right, sine theta in the bottom left, and cosine theta in the bottom right. This formula captures exactly where the basis vectors land after rotation. And because matrix multiplication is linear, it tells us where every vector in the plane will end up. Now let's turn to reflections. A reflection is a transformation that mirrors space across a line, like reflecting your image in a mirror. If we reflect across the x-axis, any point above the line gets mapped to a corresponding point below the line at the same distance, and the perpendicular distance from the point to the mirror line is preserved. Also, reflections preserve distance and angles just like rotations do. But there is a crucial difference. Reflections reverse orientation, meaning that if you trace around the shape counterclockwise before reflection, you will trace around its mirror image clockwise afterward. To understand the matrix for reflection across the x-axis, let's see where our basis vectors go. The vector I, which lies along the x-axis, stays exactly where it is, because it's on the mirror line, so it maps to 1 and 0. But the j, which points up along the y-axis, gets flipped down to a point in the negative y directions, so it maps to 0 and negative 1. The reflection matrix is simply these two column vectors, 1 and 0 for where I lands and 0 and negative 1 for where j lands, giving us the matrix with 1 and 0 in the first row and 0 and negative 1 in the second row. When we compare rotations and reflections, we find interesting differences. Both are orthogonal transformations, meaning they preserve lengths and angles, and for both types, the matrix times its transpose equals the identity matrix. However, rotations have determinant +1, while reflections have a determinant of -1. And this determinant tells us about orientation. A positive determinant means orientation is preserved, while a negative determinant means orientation is reversed. Also, rotations typically have complex eigenvalues when we think about them in two dimensions, while reflections have real eigenvalues of +1 and -1. And that basically wraps up this video. Thank you so much for watching. If you found this explanation helpful, give it a thumbs up, share your thoughts in the comments, and subscribe to stay up to date with everything I post on this channel. See you in the next one. Bye bye!